But we begin, as promised, with Ed O'Keefe at the White House. Ed, tell us about the big meeting last night and the midterms ahead, and what, if anything, was discussed about the next big event on the president's calendar, State of the Union next week.
That's right. Well, look, it is customary for administrations at the beginning of even-numbered years and ahead of the State of the Union to gather together the cabinet secretaries and other prominent officials to start talking about what the game plan is for the midterms. And in essence, this White House is telling cabinet secretaries and others, we got to focus on the economy. We have to focus on the fact that the president is pushing to lower drug prices and is dealing with the price of things in other ways through the policies that you, as cabinet secretaries or other officials, are pushing. So keep in mind, we're going to need you to do some extracurricular private political travel at times. Find ways to use your official travel to benefit House or Senate Republicans or Republican gubernatorial candidates. And we have to stay on message. Susie Wiles and other senior officials told these other cabinet and other surrogates across the administration, no matter what the president himself may be doing or saying on a given day. So that's sort of the traditional way a White House prepares for midterms, where their guy isn't on the ballot officially, but rhetorically, certainly he'll be mentioned and he'll be on the mind of voters.
And as it was reported, Ed, the suggestion was these talking points are not advisory. We want you to use them and use them only. And if I understand the reporting that we've put together correctly, one interesting thing that Tony Fabrizio, the president's top pollster, indicated was, though there is success on securing the southern border, according to his most recent polling data, that is not as salient to voters in this midterm as the White House might reasonably have hoped for.
And as much as the president would like to crow about it, because he does on a daily basis, if not several times a day, either in his speeches, his appearances, or his social media. But yeah, that one has slid away as a concern, in part because, as the government data shows, there are not people crossing the border illegally, it's not the U.S.-Mexico border, in the numbers they were before. But polling has consistently shown, since the final years of the Biden administration through this now first year of the Trump 2.0, the cost of things, inflation, focusing on the economy, of top-of-mind concern to voters. They don't want to see him focused as much on things like foreign policy, tariffs, or other things that could potentially distract from pushing prices down, as hard as that can be for any president to do, since they don't control economic forces.
I know we would be talking in a preview status, but any insight into the State of the Union?
Not yet. They actually promised that there will be more information about that in the coming days. We may get a taste of it tomorrow as he's on the road, or perhaps through the weekend, either in his own appearances or those by other officials. But look, Republicans are going to want to hear, sitting in that chamber, are going to want to hear him talking about the economy, to some extent talking about his foreign policy wins. But voters certainly want to hear about plans to drive down inflation and dollars and cents issues. And because they're hearing about it back home. They don't like these distractions that he can create for himself, which is why the edict has gone down that everybody else needs to stay on message no matter what he may be doing.
Topic to watch, let's State of the Union, housing, I suspect. Ed O'Keefe, thank you very much from the North Lawn of the White House.
Among others.